What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm here at home and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on what I've been doing at home. I feel like I don't think I've vlogged in like 3 weeks. Like, it's been a while. But me and Melanie went on a trail ride a couple days ago. We took April and Luna out on a little trail ride. I haven't ridden Luna in seriously like forever, so she really needed to get out and be ridden. So we took them on a little trail ride and I'll insert that footage here. Yeah.
I wish it was bigger, because if it was bigger, I'd ask him if we could have like a trail ride there, but
Yeah.
I kept myself in caption or something, but it wouldn't be enough for a whole trail ride.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some trails at my house. And
I can't wait.
I don't think I'd ever be allowed to host a trail ride there, just because I think his dad wouldn't be comfortable with all the liability of it.
That, and where would everybody park?
Right. Well, if we did it in the fall, that cornfield in front of the house is theirs.
Ooh.
So they could park in that. Nicole went to Squaw Creek 2 weeks ago, I think. I think you had to work.
Yeah,
And I noticed I don't think they repaired any other bike trails after derecho. It's just the big multi-use trail.
wow.
But there's still a lot of...
We'll eventually get out there to do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope so. I'm sure people use that.
Yeah, I always remember there was a good amount of bike people there.
Oh, I'd like to go back out to Halo again.
Yeah.
That was when I tried. Nice and shaded.
Yeah, maybe when it gets cooler.
Definitely.
It was a long drive. I just remember it being a really long drive there.
Yeah, that's one downside to it.
And I don't know if they have camping there or not.
I don't know. We'd have to look into it. Trying to think. No, Mountain calls that. I told Joe one of these days I wanted to take him out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to camp there
That's
at
what
some
I
point.
would do. Camp. I think it would be nice to camp there.
Yeah, I think Thomas might actually go camping in case something happens with his dad or whatever, or if he needs help.
Oh, girl. Girl. Yeah, I don't blame him. I'm kind of the same way.
She's like, you asked me to drop my head.
I did, but I didn't want to. I'm just surprised she knew that, because Cash, do I go like this?
Yeah.
Did it too. When we're in the arena, though, she doesn't do it for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't gotten her to do it significantly.
Every show horse I've ridden will do it. None of mine know what it means, but...
Stuff that kid. Oh, girl. Some toes. That's right.
Right.
Oh, this is happy today. What kind of annoys me with Rachel though is when she does come to ride. Come on. She leaves her walker for Rosie.
Oh, yeah.
Into the aisle, and like her kids either like put that off to the side or like hang it over or something. And then there was a day.
Hold still. her ears, like because they're so narrow and close together, they remind me of like those Marwari horses.
Oh, yeah.
That their ears touch.
Their ears are so beautiful. Don't they have like a curve?
Yeah, they like curl in towards their poll. Yeah, before I acquired more horses somehow. That's what I wanted to do with BB.
Rodeo?
Yeah. Games.
It's a matter of finding the time.
Right. Still haven't convinced myself to quit my job and just ride horses.
I think it'd be cool to be like a fawn show guide out in like Wyoming or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice workout in today.
What's he looking at? I wonder how it calculates your calories.
I have no idea. I honestly don't. I haven't put my weight or anything in it in this one.
Yeah.
My other phone I did. I kept track on there, but on here I haven't. I keep track of my water intake, what I eat, my sleep.
Yeah.
Keep track of all of that, but I haven't done it on this one. I've just been doing my riding, or if I go for a walk or something.
Cause like the watches and stuff I could get because they can sense your heartbeat and like.
And your like oxygen and everything.
Yeah. Oh, my Luna got nice and sweaty. Good girl. Yeah. Man, I got warm.
I agree. Want to sit? I'll try and give you some. I've thought about something. That's enough.
Too many people watching.
Girls feel better now?
So now that you've seen that, I'm here at home and kind of wanted to give you guys just a little update on things I've been doing. A lot of you guys have commented that you wanted to see updates on how the acreage cleanup goes. Here's my tree pile. I've showed you guys this in the last couple updates with it. I've got most of it burnt down. You'll see the random trash in it. This is the other side. I mean, it's still a lot, but I feel like a few more fires and most of it will be gone. So I can start piling more stuff on top of it. But yeah, I get like 4 or 5 bags of trash, and then a lot of this is like grass, like all this here, because as you can see, there's loads of tall grass and weeds, and as I kind of cut it down, I bring it over here on the pile because it burns really easily. So what I do is like, I'll get a whole bunch of this dead grass, put a giant pile of it, and light it, and which basically creates enough heat and fire to light the rest of it. I'm actually gonna go over here and let my chickens out. I got some chickens. I don't know if I've shown you guys them yet. This chicken coop was actually my boyfriend's mom's, I think, and it was down the road at the other farm in the barn like forever, because I think she just left it here and didn't want it back, so it just sat there forever. And originally I was gonna use it for the rabbit, so that she could have just this giant cage, but I wanted some chickens, so I have 6 chickens. And this is just kind of their little coop. I also bought this dog pen, this dog kennel off Facebook Marketplace for $100, so I attached it there. It didn't come with a cover. Most of them do. So we had this giant tarp laying around, so it looks kind of ghetto, but it's what I'm using right now. So we're gonna let them out. They're waiting at the door to be let out. Tink, when are you gonna have those babies? I lock them in the coop at night just for protection from predators. I just lock them in the coop and then I let them out during the day. So yeah, there's my little chicken setup. But anyway, yeah, tree pile. And most of this we've really got, I mean, I've gotten a lot of it cleaned up. I just haven't continued to pull too much more out until this tree pile's burned. A lot of these just little, like these little trees, probably this one here. A lot of just the little straggly trees I'll probably cut out. Obviously don't like to just chop down trees. I've got these little ones I cut off. But if I can thin them out a little bit to let the bigger ones grow healthier and bigger. I don't like this tree that's split this way. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But kind of, I've gotten this whole fence line done. I think that I showed you that in my last update. So the fence is all the way down, and then we've started to come in this way a few panels, but all of this is still gonna need to come out, like I said, once the tree pile is burned down more. It's super foggy here the last couple days. I don't know if you can tell in the distance, it's really like hazy. They say it's from the wildfires out north. I don't really know. But all of this is cleaned out. This was all just brush and branches and this giant dead tree. There's a giant rock in here. I found literally like this giant cable is, I don't know how this tree must have fell on it. And I don't know what it's to. Cement blocks. I found a giant roll of fencing that was shoved in here, buried by weeds. This I did all yesterday. I cleaned all of this out, and then comes all the way down here. My dog is whining at the chickens. All the way down here, and then I cleaned all of this out so that there's a path through here. So there's actually an old fence in here, but it's old and kind of broken and the posts are rotting off. So I'm not even gonna use it. We're just gonna create a new fence line right here. But all of this was this giant mess of weeds and sticker bushes. So I came through this, cleaned it all out. So we've got piles out here in the front yard. And these I don't think will be difficult to burn. I won't burn them here. I'll probably just clean them up and take them up to the tree pile. But I have all that. And there's a down tree in here that's just tangled mess. There's this ugly giant bush. Yeah. So making progress, just slowly but surely. I think today I'm gonna fill up my little pump sprayer and spray all of this so that the weeds that I did cut off hopefully won't grow back. There is this hill right here. It's a big hill that, yeah, it's just a big hill right here. And why not? I think it's a big roll or big pile of old fencing wire that either just accumulated or somebody put a bunch of dirt on top of it, because there's a bunch of little places where it's sticking out. So I'm guessing somebody threw a giant pile of fence there and put dirt on top of it. So that'll be great to pull out. I have told you guys a couple times that there was a giant trash pile here. Being an empty property that nobody's used for 80 years, people just started dumping their garbage here. And some relatives, like, I don't know why, they put a bunch of junk here, trash, and then they put a bunch of giant rocks on top of it. So this is what I've cleaned out. This corner is where the trash pile was. Like, literally this whole thing was piles and piles of garbage and trash bags and junk. This is everything I've pulled out. It's actually not everything. Like, I've taken loads of it. I've burned a lot of it. Everything that I've picked up has gone onto the tree pile. And don't get me wrong, I don't love the idea of burning all of our garbage, but it's cleaning it out of there and it's cleaning up my tree pile. So that's what I've been doing with most of the burnables. All of this is metal that I've pulled out of the ground. This is all of the rocks that they shoved on top of the pile. We've been using the side-by-side to pull them out. But yeah, this is all metal, buckets of metal, bags of metal, a whole bunch of wood blocks. Like, they look like old railroad ties somebody cut up to use for something. This tree did fall down. There is a bunch of fallen trees in here, so I've been like cutting them out, pulling them out to get to the trash underneath of it. So this all eventually will be burned unless I can find some other use for all of these blocks. Certainly they would come in handy to like use under my trailer or for wheel chocks, but we also have a bunch already. Back in there, those are all old railroad ties, like someone just threw them here. This is all dead from where I was pulling out the big rocks, so you can see where I've driven over it. But yeah, this is what's left back here. Just a whole bunch of trash. I don't know how somebody could do this to the planet. Like, if you guys ever watched my old videos that I used to post over on my other channel, I am a huge advocate for the planet, taking care of the planet, being as low waste as possible, not creating waste if I don't have to, reusing things. Yeah, so this is literally, oh my God, it's just been awful. I just can't believe that somebody did this, that there's people that did this. This is all old, like, insulation. Here's more. This giant rock, the side-by-side wouldn't even budge it, so I think we're gonna have to probably bring a tractor over, or maybe one of our trucks will pull it out. It was too big for the side-by-side. But honestly, what I think happened, somebody did like some remodeling or something. I don't know if they remodeled or just repainted or what. But based on the trash I found paintbrushes, scrapers, so many paint cans, dumped paint. Oh, so much like home remodeling stuff. And then there's all this metal and all the insulation. And I think somebody just brought all of the garbage here, piled it up, and then put these chunks. This is actually an old septic tank that's broken into pieces, slapped them on top and hoped it would decompose, or just so they didn't have to deal with it anymore. Obviously none of it decomposed. I've just been pulling it all out of the ground. I've picked up more broken glass out of here than I think I've ever seen in my life. I have this whole bag is filled with pieces of broken glass. This is full of pieces of broken glass. I've actually found some cool stuff in here that I've kept. I found like whole plates that there was nothing wrong with them. So I washed them and they're in my kitchen now. But so many like pop cans that I've put in my pop can bag to redeem. I found so many glass bottles that weren't broken, so I've kept those. And I actually have them in the house. I use them for my plants and propagating my plants. All of this metal, like you can see there's an old, I don't know what it is. Air conditioner? All of this metal, this big pile of metal, I take it and I scrap it. So I'll load it up onto a trailer eventually when I'm done, and I'll take it to the scrap yard so that it can be recycled. And yeah, so this is definitely a project place, a huge project place. You can see like the timber is just all thick brush. Definitely no space for like a pasture by any means, but there probably will be one day. We'll just have to see what happens and how it goes. But yeah, biggest project I've ever done in my life, and I've really done it by myself. My boyfriend has helped me here and there, but really I'm doing all of this, like cleaning out this section of timber back here for my horses. And he's busy enough. He's got the farm down the road and work and all that stuff. So really, he does not care that I bring horses here, but obviously I take care of them and I do the maintenancing and stuff. So, yeah, I've done it myself, and it's been a lot of work. So yeah, that's kind of a little update for you guys on the acreage cleanup. I know it's kind of shocking to see like how much of it needs done, but it'll get there. It'll get there. Just time and patience, a lot of maintenance and effort. It's not difficult work, honestly. It's just time consuming, and it's work that needs to be done. Yeah, like I said, it's not difficult to do. It just needs to be done. And it'll get done slowly but surely. I honestly just need to finish fencing that along the road and come up here. And then really the fencing is done. The dilemma I have is that I don't want to put in all of the fence if I'm still pulling out trees and stuff, because then I can't really just drive in and pull something out. So I'm trying to get more of it cleaned up before I just fence it all in. But yeah, I'm gonna start spraying weeds, but I'll catch up with you guys in a little while when I go inside. All right, guys, I'm back inside now. Got my coffee here, and I wanted to just sit down and answer some of your guys' questions that you've been leaving on my last few videos. I told you guys a while ago that you're welcome to leave any questions you guys have about my personal life, my horse life, whatever you've been curious about, to leave them down in the comments below. I'll answer them in a video. So I have my laptop right here out of the view, but okay, so this one is from a few videos ago, and Sarah left a comment with a bunch of questions on it, but I'm just gonna answer a couple. The first one, I actually was surprised you commented this because I don't mention my dog in my videos very often at all, and she commented asking, how is your new dog doing? If you guys have been following me for the last year, I guess, you may have seen my new dog, Riley. She is a German Shorthair Pointer. She is, I think, 6 this year, and I got her just over a year ago. We celebrated her 1-year gotcha day at the beginning of this month, at the beginning of July, end of June. So she's done really good. She definitely, when I got her, was just kind of somebody's stock. She is a hunting dog, so she did not make the cut as a hunting dog because they didn't tell us this, but we found out after I had already gotten her. She is insanely gun shy. Like, she she flips out, she takes off running. She's horribly afraid of guns. So I'm assuming that had a large part in them rehoming her. So they didn't use her for that, and she obviously didn't have very many manners. They were gonna try and breed her. They tried to breed her multiple times and she wouldn't get pregnant. The one time she did get pregnant, she had a stillborn, so they just spayed her and decided to rehome her as a pet. She actually would have gone to the shelter if nobody, wanted her, if they couldn't find a home for her. So I'm very big into adopt, don't shop. So I kind of found her at the right time. So we originally got her because I always like having an athletic dog that I can take hiking and camping and lots of different things with. And then my fiance at the time, he enjoyed hunting, so we thought maybe she could be used for that. Then we found out, because here's the funny part, is that I lived on a gun range. So my old house where I lived with my fiance for 3 years, we actually lived on a gun range. Our landlord had his business there and the property. He taught like concealed carry classes and stuff. So literally they were out shooting guns all the time. And so we didn't learn that she was gun shy until we brought her home. And of course we lived on a gun range. So there was a point in time I had her tied up outside by my house, and when they would shoot guns, she would start to destroy the side of our house. She ate a whole bunch of the door frame off. She'd start to rip up the door. The door was like, the outside was metal, and she was starting to like rip and bite and pull up the metal. It was bad. That did come out of my deposit when I moved. They definitely noticed the damage to the back door, and I felt so bad about that. I actually ended up moving her and tying her to a tree away from the house. I actually do have a friend that breeds and trains gun dogs, so we took her over there once, and he said that she could be trained out of it. Like, it's not so severe, it's not untrainable. But me and my fiance obviously aren't together anymore, and I don't hunt, so it doesn't really bother me. Now that I've moved out to the country, we don't really ever hear gunshots here. Otherwise, I've taught her manners. She is totally house trained. I don't really bring her in the house. She's mainly an outdoor dog. I will bring her in the winter if it's, crazy cold outside or something. But otherwise, she was always an outdoor dog with the last owners, and so she is an outdoor dog here. And she's done really well. We go on hikes a lot. We walk a lot. I take her to my nephew's ball games, and yeah, she's a really good dog. My whole family really likes her, which says a lot. Like, my mom buys her treats all the time. Like, whenever they go to Menards or something, she picks her up a bag of treats. And my mom has never liked dogs. Never. She likes Riley. It's kind of funny. The next question, if you had the means to do any event or sports with your horses that you haven't done, what would that be? So this is a really good question, because honestly, I want to do all of them. And it's really difficult because every year it's like I want to try something different, and I never get really good at one thing. So the last couple years we've been doing endurance, and I've really liked that. But I've always wanted to do like rodeo or barrel racing. I tried to get into that a little bit when I first got BB. She wasn't really good at it. I might try it again with her later this summer, because everyone's gone to rodeos lately and I've been kind of jealous. So I might try it again with her. She just wasn't that great at it. She's just too all over the place. She definitely has speed, but jumping, I tried jumping with Sugar a long time ago, and I always wanted to kind of get more into it and go to I would love to just go to some small shows to do like schooling and jumping and stuff. I love that. Drill team. I was actually on a drill team. If you guys have been around that long, a few years ago, we had just a small 6-person drill team for the local saddle club, and we performed at a few shows. But nothing big. I love going to rodeos and seeing the big drill teams that put lights on their horses and they have flags. BB would be really good at that. I'd love to do that. God, what else? I really just want to do all of it. That's the issue. Oh, actually, a question on the next video is from Material Whirl, and she asked, how long did you do drill team a few years ago? And it was just for like one show season. I think we started practicing in like February or March, and then I think we performed at an April show and maybe one in June, and then one at a later show or something. Oh, do you ever get to see Louise and Smalls these days? I thought you moved closer to them since they were close to your boyfriend, but I probably totally misunderstood. No, you didn't misunderstand at all. I do see them actually a couple times a week. If you guys don't know who Louise and Smalls are, they are two Belgian mares. I have a few videos of them on my channel, but they are retired working Belgian mares. Actually, the one I don't think was ever worked. And she's like 11 or 12 probably. But Louise and Smalls, they're the two big Belgians, and they actually live down the road from us at the family farm, and they are completely free range. They don't leave the property, which nobody understands. They don't leave the property, but they are completely free range. They're not penned up or fenced in anywhere, and they graze in the waterways. They graze the timber, the whole property really. So they definitely don't go hungry. And like, some people have expressed concerns about them on my channel before, and I totally, completely understand. They are not abandoned by any means. They've got the whole property to live on, and really the family, they don't mind that they live there at all. They're kind of like a novelty type thing, because they used to be owned by my boyfriend's grandparents. So they're definitely welcome to live there as long as possible. In the winter time, they have all of the round bales lined up in the field, and that's what they feed the cattle. Louise and Smalls have access to those, so they have plenty of hay to eat all winter long. I took water out there to them about every day last winter, because I did want to make sure that they had thawed out water access. The cattle's water is inside the cattle yard, so I don't know if they can access it, so I always took water out to them. As far as their hooves, they've been free range for so long. Their hooves actually chip off naturally, just like wild horses' hooves do in the wild. If you guys remember my old project pony, Chloe, her hooves were the same way. They chipped off really well naturally because she was not tame for most of her life. So their hooves really aren't in that bad of shape. I actually look at them most of the time when I go over to visit them, and they're not bad. So I totally get your guys' concerns, but you really don't have to be worried. They're perfectly healthy. I did deworm them this spring because I wasn't sure when the last time they'd probably ever been dewormed was. But yeah, I do see them a couple times a week when I go over there. Usually they're down in a waterway or they're out in the timber somewhere and I don't see them, but when they come up to the farm, I do. And I haven't videoed them in a while. I will definitely try to do that more. I know you guys like seeing them a lot. Next question was, don't you need more time for yourself, to enjoy more of yourself? Tell us about your life beyond horses and how do you relax? I've had a hard time relaxing and enjoying life. Part of the reason is what you mentioned earlier in your video. Making a good life does seem daunting. By the way, you have a podcast voice, clear and pleasant, yet with an edge. Maybe you can do one sometime. Okay, so that was on my last video. I kind of answered some questions. It was called Training for Endurance. And to answer your question, yes, I do need time for myself, and it doesn't happen very often. But I have actually, since I moved out here, and kind of since I broke up with my fiance and kind of my life kind of turned upside down, have tried to consciously make time for things that I want to do. And that's hard sometimes, like especially when I'm trying to, start up this horse business. I've got 5 horses of my own. that really only I ride. I did lease out BB to her old owner, actually. So she lives at the barn, but her own old owner comes out and rides her. And it is stressful, and then trying to clean up this acreage. So yeah, I do try to make time for myself here and there. Usually it's just like in the morning, each morning I'll like sit out on our little patio here and drink my coffee and just like chillax outside. This last weekend we actually went on an overnight vacation. That was so nice. Yeah, it does get stressful. My life has always been very stressful and very busy, so I've kind of just adapted to it. But yeah, I try to make time for myself when I can. Yeah, that's kind of my life beyond horses, honestly. Cleaning up the acreage, trying to stay active on the fire department, making time for my friends and family. That's difficult. And I did finish school. That was a big relief. As far as my podcast type of voice, thank you. I very much enjoy listening to people that have a nice voice to listen to. I have done a couple of videos like this where I've just sat down the whole time and talked and answered questions and talked about topics that are kind of more podcast style. I would totally do those more often if you guys like them. I guess let me know what you guys think about that. All right, that's about all the questions I think I'm going to answer. I don't want this to be super crazy long. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you guys do have any other questions. I'd love to do them in another sit down video with you guys. And stay tuned. I think next week, me and Melanie might bring a couple of horses here actually and try to ride this timber. I haven't been in the timber since very early this spring before everything grew back. So stay tuned for that video. I think we'll have a lot of fun and hopefully not get lost. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.